Hello everyone, today we'll be trying to fake a swirly bokeh effect in Affinity Photo.
Bokeh Photos, Affinity Photo.
So guys, swirly bokeh effect is something that a very old Petzval lens were able to do, and Helios lens from Russia, which currently are like 50 years old, 40. They are still being produced, but the effect, I don't know if it's actually there in the newest versions, but you can still buy them nonetheless. So, swirly bokeh effect. The bottom line is, as you can see right now, there is the background, which is swirling, rotating, and our main subject, the central of the lens, usually, is the most sharp, and the effect is simply not there. Why is it swirly? Because the lens weren't high quality enough. Helios lens, for example, from Russia, it's pretty much a knockoff, cheap knockoff of the Carl Zeiss Sienna Tessar lenses, which actually have a different bokeh effect, which is a bubble bokeh, but we'll discuss this later on. So let's try to make the swirly effect, which is so famous, or at least the Petzval lenses are famous for. Lomography actually is producing the new versions of the Petzval lens, which you can adjust the effect. We'll simply try and fake this in Affinity Photo. Let's see how it goes. Okay guys, so this is our image. What is the main reason for picking that particular photo? The background is very busy. So when we will be rotating everything, it will be simply very visible, the effect of rotating everything instead of our subject. So let's copy the background layer twice. The first will be our main subject. The second part will be swirly bokeh background. And let's call it backup. And that's it. So, our main subject. Let's use the selection brush tool with W and select the face of the girl. Something like that. Not here, okay. That's it. It doesn't have to be pretty, just simple rough selection. Click refine. Now what is very important here to refine this? Border width set to 0. We don't want any border around our selection. Feather. I will use 500 for that. And look at that. The mask is very soft around. It simply makes the transition from the pin sharp image that is original to the background that will be swirled in a moment a lot easier and a lot natural. So let's ramp it up a little bit, like 30%. So as you can see, the mask is going more of a outside and the middle of the face is not being masked at all. I would even go with like 750. Why those numbers? 750 is pretty much, as you can see, it's still pretty small because the picture simply has a very high resolution. That's it. If the image would be 1000 pixels over 1000, 750 would be obviously too much because pretty much everything would be unmasked. And we want just a simple, very nice, soft change from the pin sharp image to our swirly background. So this is everything we want. Click apply. And we have our selection. And let's click the mask layer on our main subject. Boom. And as you can see, this is our mask. Click with Alt on the mask, and as you can see, it's very soft. It's nice. So, and let's move our background. Now all we have to do is just simply use the radial blur and add 1 degree. And that's it. This is pretty much more or less perfectly faked the swirly bokeh effect. Maybe there isn't much bokeh, but the idea of swirling the background is there. That's it. If you would add, for example, 2 degrees, this is obviously too much. It all depends on the background, because the background is very busy, it is visible like that. But you can use like 1.1 if that pleases you. On the edges, the effect is obviously stronger. In the middle, we don't have this effect at all. We can of course move the layer around if we want, but pretty much this is the gist of it. Do you like it or not? Leave me a comment down below. I would say that this is pretty much perfect. The lenses currently you can buy from Petzval are from the Lomography website. We can see now are pretty much 500 euros with shipping. It's a lot. Helios lens are like cheap knockoffs for 20-30 bucks used. They are like 40 years old and they are pretty soft. Eventually in the middle they are pretty much like that. I have those lenses. I will make a video further down the road, and you can buy either lens or simply do it in 1 minute in Affinity and have the proper effect in place. Everything depends on you. So let's move further and try to make a couple of different photographies with the Swirly bokeh effect. So our second portrait will be one of Ella's, and let's do the same. Just copy the background layer twice. I won't be renaming the layers, just simply go in and do it roughly as they say. We selected our main subject, we click refine, set the border width to 0, feather out, let's go with 500, ramping up a little bit between 25 to 30% I would use. Maybe a little bit of smoothness. Didn't change much. Click apply. Click the mask layer. Then we'll have the automated mask being created for our main subject. Select the layer below. Add the lens blur, radial blur effect, and select the 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. Okay, 3 degrees is obviously a little bit too swirly. So let's just maybe go with 1.5. I would say it's awesome. So this is before, and this is the after. This is just an artistic effect. You might like it, you might not like it. Maybe it's something you really adore, and every portrait you will ever take will be with something like that. Then you probably are a lot easier for you will be to just simply buy the lens, so it will be naturally on every photography you take, but this is something you can do like that. Okay, let's move forward to another photo. This is pretty much the same. So, copy our layers, select our foreground or our main subject, click refine, border width 0, feather out, and let's go with 600, ramped up to 38%. As you can see, there's this ramp here, which is visible, which we don't want actually to be seen. Sorry, let's go with 450. Okay, still a little bit visible, but it won't be visible after we will be done with that. So, create the mask. We have the mask, background, radial blur, 1 degree, 2 degrees. 2 degrees, a little bit too much, maybe? Not. This is the 1 degree. We still have some details, especially in the hair. With 2 degrees, this here we have some details, but this is getting over swirly like crazy. Is it too much? Tell me in the comment sections. I would say it's okay. It's an artistic effect. Nobody needs to care if you like it. That's the most important thing. You need to like it, or eventually the person you are photographing should like it. But you can always add another version of that photography to your portfolio and for them, so they can choose the normal version or the swirly version. And another example. Mask, refine, border, feathering out, ramping out, a little bit more, perfection. Apply, click the mask layer to create the mask for our layer, Ctrl D to deselect the selection, select the background, adjustment layers, and radial blur, and just add 2 degrees. This is pretty much going all crazy on the grass. I would say 1 degree, 1.5 maybe. Oh, 1 and 3 looks okay. And that's it, guys. This is how you can do it. It's very easy. Now let me play all the images one by one with before and after. Or let's maybe add, forgot about one. Copy layers, selection brush tool, select our subject. It can be a rough selection because the refinement of the selection mask will make everything that we want selected anyway. Just go for the edges. Affinity will do the rest for us. God, it makes life so much easier. And click refine. Feather it out like 500 pixels. Ramp it up to 25. Order to 0. And as you can see, everything around our subject will be also unmasked, or maybe only a little bit, which will make the transition a lot smoother between the pin sharp image and the swirly bokeh effect. Just click apply, click the mask layer to create the mask, Ctrl D to deselect our selection, and radial blur on the background, and 1 degree, 2 degrees. I would go with 1.5, and before and after. So guys, this is pretty much how you can fake a Petzval effect or swirly bokeh effect, or just simply add a swirly bokeh to your portrait so they will look a lot, well, less common, I would say. If you like it, leave me a comment, tell me what did you like, what did you didn't like, or is this actually looking fun for you, or the effect is pleasing or not. I would say that, for example, for this photography, it works very well. And also for this. It just simply makes the focus on the subject a lot better, because your eyes and your brain doesn't really care about the swirly stuff all around. You're just focusing on the sharp image, the sharp part that you're able to recognize very easily, and it simply draws your attention. So, thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.